Today you'll be working on the practice STAAR questions. Let's look at question number 1. 2 rectangles were used to form the following figure. Use the ruler provided to measure the dimensions of the figure to the nearest quarter of an inch. What measurement is the area of the shaded region of the figure in square inches? Round your answer to the nearest whole number. Remember, when it says to use the ruler provided, that's going to be the ruler on your mathematics chart. You're going to need to measure the big rectangle and find the area. And you're going to need to measure the little rectangle and find the area. And then you subtract that to find just the shaded region. So base times height of the big rectangle minus base times height of the little rectangle. And when you're measuring, you'll find that this is 1 3/4 or 1.75. And this one is 3 inches. And then you'll need to measure down here and down here. Number 2. This model of the blackboard of a basketball goal is composed of a rectangle and a semicircle. What is the area of the model of the blackboard in square inches? So you're trying to find total surface area. This is a composite figure. So you find the area of this circle and add it to the area of this rectangle. The area of a circle is pi times radius squared, and since it's a half of circle, you need to multiply that times half, plus area of a rectangle is base times height. So this will be 1/2 times the number for pi, which is 3.14, times the radius. And remember, radius goes halfway across, so if all the way is 4, half of that would be 2, and it'll be 2 squared, plus the area of the rectangle, which the base of the rectangle is 4, and the height is 1.5. You'll need to work that out to figure out the total area. Number 3, Ryan has a bag of mixed shapes. She chooses 3 shapes and fits them together to form a figure as shown. What is the area of the figure Ryan creates? Well, I see this one right here. That is a quarter circle. So 1/4 of a circle. The area of a circle is pi times radius squared. And if it's a quarter circle, we're going to need to take 1/4 of that. Plus, I also see a rectangle. So the formula for a rectangle is base times height. And then I see a triangle. The formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now, they have these little measurements, the little line. That means that this line over here is the same, so this is 8. I don't see the measurement at the bottom of the triangle, and I'm going to need that. So from here to here, this is 4, and this part would be 8. 4 plus 8 would make 12. So from here to here is 12, and then the whole thing is 17. So 17 minus 12 leaves 5. That means the base of the triangle is 5. And that will help us when we fill in these formulas. The first one is 1/4 times the number we're going to use for pi times the radius of the circle, which is 4 squared, plus the base times the height of the rectangle, and since it's a square, it's 8 times 8, plus 1/2 times the base of the triangle is 5, and the height is 8. And if you work that out, then you'll have the answer. Number 4. The net of a square pyramid is shown in the diagram. What is the total surface area of the square pyramid in square inches? So we're just finding the total surface area. I see 4 triangles that are all the same. I will need to find the area of that. And then I see 1 square, which I'm going to need to find the area of. The formula for triangles is 1/2 times base times height. And I'm going to multiply that times 4 because there's 4 of them that look exactly the same. And then the formula for the square is base times height. For the triangle, it'll be 4 times 1/2 times the base of the triangle. Since it's a square, all the sides are the same. So if this one was 8, that one's also 8. Times the height, which remember has to be at a right angle, so that's 9. Plus the base of the rectangle is 8. And the height is also 8 because it is a square. Number 5. A group of students stood in a circle to play a game. The circle had a diameter of 22 meters. What measurement is closest to the circumference of the circle in meters? The formula for circumference is either 2 times pi times radius or pi times diameter. Since they gave us the diameter, I'm going to use that formula. So it'll be pi, which is 3.14 times 22. Number 6. Andy painted a tabletop that's shaped like a circle. The circumference of the table is 6 pi feet. What is the area of the tabletop in square feet? Okay, we haven't seen a question quite like that before. The circumference of the tabletop is 6 pi. That means 6 times pi. So circumference equals 6 times pi. And we just use those formulas up here on this problem. So if we just have one thing that we're multiplying times pi, what do we think that 6 is going to be? Looks like the 6 is going to represent the diameter. And they want us to find the area of the tabletop. And area is pi times radius squared. Well, if the diameter is 6, then the radius is half of that, which is 3. So our formula is going to be 3.14 times radius squared. And we know the radius is 3, so 3 squared. Number 7. The diagram models the length from a center of a wind turbine to the tip of one of its blades. What is the total area covered by the blades when the turbine makes one revolution? So we're trying to find the area of a circle, which is pi times radius squared. The number we use for pi is still 3.14. And the radius, remember radius goes halfway across the circle. That looks like 32 squared, which means 32 times 32 times 3.14. Number 8. Colton drew a circle and labeled the center S. He used the expression 12 times pi to find the circumference of the circle in inches. Which of the following could be the circle Colton drew? So circumference is going to equal 12 times pi. And remember those equations or formulas we just used. Pi times diameter gets the circumference. So the 12 must be the diameter. And diameter goes all the way across the circle. All the way across the circle. So which one of these has a diameter of 12? The diameter of the first one is 6. What's the diameter of each circle? And the correct one will be when the diameter is 12. Number 9. The net for a candy box is shown if the triangular ends of the box are torn off. What is the remaining surface area of the candy box? So if you tear off the ends, it means you're really just looking for the lateral surface area. So the only thing that's left are a bunch of rectangles, which are base times height. So the base of this top one is 5, and the height would be 10, or the other way around. And on the next one, the base is 10, and the height is 6. And it doesn't have any measurements on the bottom, but we know since it's a prism, it's got to be the same as this one on top. So it's also 5 times 10. So if you work all those out and add them up, you'll have the total surface area. Number 10. Brenda deconstructs a box to put in the recycling bin. When the box is flattened, it has the shape below. What is the total surface area of the box? Again, all the shapes are rectangles or parallelograms, so we need to use base times height. Well, these little pieces that are sticking out, that's 2 times 1, because the base is 2 and the height is 1. And the same would be over here. Now, the base of this top one is 5 and the height is 2, and that's the same as this big one. So we just need the one in the middle. The base is going to still be 5, and the height is 1. And that'll be the same as this one on the bottom. So if you work all those problems and then add them, you'll have your answer.